16th BRICS Summit, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan to attend the 16th BRICS Summit. He'll be addressing the Indian diaspora in Russia. Prime Minister Modi will also hold bilateral meeting with Russian President Putin. He's also expected to hold bilateral meetings with other counterparts of BRICS members. So this is the latest that is coming in at this point of time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan in Russia, and he is set to attend the BRICS Summit which is the 16th BRICS Summit in Russia. This will be the second visit to Russia of Prime Minister with President Putin, and the last visit took place in July. So now he's also set to hold bilateral meetings with other counterparts, and he's also set to interact with the Indian diaspora. We have with us my colleague Sanjay Sharma joining us on the telecast. Sanjay, what can you share the details regarding that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan, Russia to attend the 16th BRICS Summit?
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ब्रिक्स सम्मेलन की 2 दिवसीय यात्रा पर आज रूस के शहर कजान पहुंच चुके हैं। 2 दिन तक प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी यहीं पर रहेंगे, जहां पर उनकी 1-to-1 मुलाकात होने वाली, बायलैटरल मुलाकात होने वाली है रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट पुतिन के साथ, चाइना प्रेसिडेंट शी जिनपिंग के साथ। इसके अलावा ब्राजील और साउथ अफ्रीका के प्रेसिडेंट के साथ भी उनकी मुलाकात होने वाली है। 1-to-1 बायलैटरल टॉक भी होगी। इसके अलावा ब्रिक्स में जो मुद्दे उठने वाले हैं, जिसमें सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा होगा डिफेंस कॉपरेशन का, एक दूसरे की रक्षा प्रणाली का, और साथ ही साथ ब्रिक्स देश अपनी नई करेंसी लाना चाहते हैं। ब्रिक्स देश डॉलर के मुकाबले में अपनी नई करेंसी भी लेकर के आना चाहते हैं। तो उस पर भी ब्रिक्स के सम्मेलन में चर्चा होगी। तो देखना होगा प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की किन किन नेताओं से मुलाकात होती है और आखिर किन किन मुद्दों पे बात होती है, क्योंकि ब्रिक्स में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का जाना।
Viewers, hold on, Sanjay Sharma. Viewers, as you can see on the screens, this is the latest visual that is coming in. These are live visuals coming in, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan. So as you can see, he's interacting with people there, and he has also stated that this is of immense importance. The BRICS is immensely important. Now he's leaving to meet President Putin and also hold bilateral meetings, and he's set to participate in the 16th BRICS Summit. So these are the latest visuals that are coming in from Kazan, Russia, where he has arrived to attend the 16th BRICS Summit. Sanjay Sharma, what are the agenda? We also have with us Sanjay Sharma, hold on. We also have with us Professor Madhav Nalapat. He's the editorial director, TSG, joining us on the telecast. Thank you so much for joining us on the telecast, sir. What I want to know is, Professor Madhav Nalapat, is that now Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan, and all eyes are on the bilateral talks that are going to take place, and what would be the agenda of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's, and this will be his second visit to Russia. How do you access this scenario?
Well, for one point, it illustrates the fact that Russia and India have been close to each other for a long time, and Prime Minister Modi has continued that relationship. He has not disrupted it, while at the same time very significantly strengthening his ties with the Western world, especially the United States, in the sphere of defense. So I think his going there is itself symbolic of that. And the second point is that he would like to, of course, in my view, 2 things in mind. One is the global south, the interests of the global south, which very often fail to get mentioned. They just talk about their members. And the second thing would be the Indian national interest. A very important point would be the bilateral meetings that he has. And don't forget, several Middle Eastern countries have joined or on the queue to joining BRICS. And that is why Russia has chosen Kazan, Tatarstan, to hold the summit, to show that Russia is a country where you have a significant number of Muslims and they're living in peace. So Prime Minister Modi is strongly in favor of a moderate policy on the part of everybody, and he is certainly going to mention about the importance of of fighting terrorism together, fighting extremism, and ensuring that the moderate view prevails over the extremist view. So I think he's going to make a very strong and powerful statement at the BRICS Summit, and he's going to have very important bilaterals with several of the countries, including the new countries who joined BRICS just now.
Professor Madhav Nalapad, this 16th BRICS Summit in Russia's Kazan it's said to be the first with the new members also. So BRICS is likely to focus on closer energy partnership among members, and one of the key things that's also going to be the same can be expected is to be part of the Kazan Declaration. So do you think that the Kazan Declaration, which is currently being negotiated, what can be expected out of that?
Well, I'd like to point out that India is very clear that they are not going to adopt a stand which is which is frankly hostile to any single bloc in the new Cold War. They are certainly, the declaration cannot, for example, present itself in terms that are hugely negative to the Western world in general. Of course, you have got situations such as Ukraine and all that, where there are sharp differences of opinion, and frankly, Russia and China have come together as a consequence of that. But I think Prime Minister Modi is very clear that as far as India is concerned, the West is a friend, Russia is a friend. And the Kazan Declaration, I hope, will reflect that kind of moderation, and as the G20 declaration did. And if you remember the G20 declaration 2023, Prime Minister Modi got it unanimously approved. So I'm very certain he's going to work hard to see that you have a Kazan declaration that is significant. And energy cooperation, let me point out that India's energy imports from Russia have gone up substantially. And some of the new countries that have joined are the countries that are very important in the field of energy. So that's a very important that's an extremely important point that's going to be highlighted. And I'm very confident that Prime Minister Modi will work hard to ensure that there is a Kazan declaration which is focusing on outcomes and not focusing on geopolitical issues.
All right. We also have with us Joyita Basu. She's an editor at TSG. I'd like to pose the same questions to you, Joyita Basu. Is the fact that there is various amid bilateral meetings and the important discussions that might take place. One of them is the Kazan Declaration, which is currently under negotiation. What can we expect from the declaration, and what would be India's stand? What is your take on that?
Well, I think first of all, what we will be as analysts and journalists, what we will be keenly watching is the meeting between the likely meeting that is going to take place between Mr. Modi and Mr. Xi Jinping. Because if you ask me, that is much more important than the Kazan Declaration, which of course we have to see whether China has its say in terms of, whether China is able to have its say by getting inducted all the countries that are actually pro-China, and they have an influence on, China has an influence on them. So you see, we just carried a piece saying that Mr. Modi is going there, he's going to talk about the global South. He is the voice of the global South. So obviously that we can look at, there will be lots of, in terms of the economic aspect of it.
Joyita Basu, when you're talking about the Xi Jinping, the likely meeting between bilateral talks between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi, this will be a key bilateral meeting if it takes place after the petroling, the agreement that the breakthrough agreement that India and China have reached when it comes to patrolling along the along the borders. So what do you think about the breakthrough agreement that has taken place, and now all eyes are on the whether Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi will have bilateral?
Well, I think without that quote-unquote breakthrough agreement, this meeting wouldn't have happened. I mean, Mr. Modi also, when he is going to meet Mr. Xi Jinping, both sides, India would like to have its at least concerns taken care of. So the very fact that this is happening, it shows some kind of a thaw, but does not mean that we have to be, we cannot be, we have to be wary about China. Because you see, ultimately what matters is the military build-up on the other side of the LAC. So you see, I mean, they are rapidly building, military facilities over there. So maybe there's a tactical retreat, quote-unquote retreat in terms of diplomatic relations for the time being. But that does not mean the problems between India and China have been resolved. No way. So I think that is something we have to keep in mind. And when it comes to the Kazan, we have to, of course, see whether China is able to induct countries like Pakistan and all in BRICS, which I hope, I mean, that is something that India is going to pose a hurdle to. There will be some mention on, of course, terrorism, because terrorism is a very strong concern for India. So that will definitely find a mention. So, and of course, when we are talking about climate change, alternate energy, those things will also be coming into it. And of course, cooperation and the economic building blocks in terms of China and Russia will be pushing for, yuan to become the common currency among these countries, which India is going to resist, because when they're talking about the BRICS currency, they're possibly likely to latch on to something like the yuan. So not going to like that. Not everything is hunky-dory, but yes, we are trying to do business, simple as that, nothing more than that.
We also have with us Himanshu Bhar, senior journalist, joining us on the telecast. I'd like to get you on the discussion when it comes to the bilateral meetings that will take place. Now, Prime Minister Modi has arrived in Kazan for the 16th BRICS Summit. And one of the key things that all eyes are on the Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's likely meeting. And this comes just after an agreement that we have seen that has taken place, that India and China have an agreement on the patrolling across the borders, and reached a patrolling arrangement along the line of actual control. What are the key agendas that could be discussed during these bilaterals?
Well, it's a first step. First step in the normalization of the relationships between India and China. This, de-escalation or de-engagement that has taken place, not much should be read into that. That is what I feel. Because, to build confidence on both sides, and especially for India, we have absolutely no confidence as far as the Chinese plots and plans are concerned. And so, I don't see much into that. That's a first step to the normalization, good. That's something, that India can revel on. But then, apart from that, well, whether there will be a bilateral, that's fine. Good for the optics. It's all right. So see, it's something like this, I look at it that way, that so many people and so many analysts have been talking about RIC, and then, Western world going mad about it. Well, if Modi and Putin has a jappi, and Xi Jinping and Modi has a jappi, and if USA is going to not like it, well, so be it. But that's for the optics. Actual fact, when we talk of BRICS, BRICS is a platform which started initially with the financial banks. Now we are discussing so many things in BRICS, that's all right. But I don't foresee, this BRICS common currency or any of those things coming. Putin himself said, we are too far away. It's too premature to talk of BRICS currency. We are talking in terms of payment mechanism. That's fine. That is, the multilateral payment mechanism, multipolar world, that is what India has been talking about. And naturally, Modi, while talking to Xi Jinping, he's not going to accept yen as a BRICS currency. No, it's not going to happen. And as far as what we talk of, including Pakistan and other people, well, how can you include a Pakistan in this forum? What does it have to offer? My simple basic question. And China, through its newspapers, have come out with an article which says, very clearly that, too many members, too many problems, too many challenges. So they have also realized the fact that, you cannot be increasing your burden. If you bring in Pakistan, what will Pakistan contribute to? That's the fundamental question.
Himanshu,
And
but
that
I'd
question
also
cannot
like
be
to ask
answered
you,
by
sir.
China, because China knows Pakistan will keep asking for
Himanshu, but
money.
I'd also pose this question is, when we're talking about Pakistan, the major issues that will be discussed will be in concern of the global south. And from security to counter-terrorism, those would be the main highlights that could be discussed.
Yes.
So, and we have also seen that recently there was the Gandarbal terror attack that took place in Jammu and Kashmir, and we have been seeing a surge in terrorist activities in Jammu and Kashmir. So, what do you think could be the, when it comes to talking about security to counter-terrorism, could be expected when we are talking about Global South issues in BRICS Summit?
See, Global South will certainly be discussed, because, Global South entirely looks at Bharat. The way Bharat is suffering from these issues. And as you very rightly pointed out, insurgency again, terrorism again in Kashmir is taking roots. Who is doing that? On one side, Pakistan is in economic doldrums, but they have money to, finance this terrorism. How does that money come from? From whom does it come? So there are certain interests. You must remember what Narendra Modi said recently, as after Haryana win in Delhi. He said there are international forces which are trying to pull us down. And they are creating problems for us. And we must look at the whole prism, whole thing in a wholesome manner. On one side, everyone in the West even knows that India is the natural leader of Global South. Whether they say it or not, that's a fact of life. Because the nations in the South have been clearly saying to the world. And after our Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, came out with a statement which said, Europe's problems are not world's problems, and world's problems are not Europe's problems. That one must understand. The way Global South has been treating people from West, you must see it. And that itself is a good enough reason to believe that Global South is with Bharat as far as these issues of terrorism and other things are concerned. So they have been worried about this. And when you look at that, with the things happening in India through Pakistan, I would put it that way. It's basically that, Pakistan is being used by certain powers in the world to create internal disturbances in India. And that's what has been happening. And that is there and we have to fight that. In such a scenario, when Bharat goes to a forum, multilateral forum like BRICS, it says very clearly, if you don't want us in G7, fine. We'll have our own platform, that is BRICS.
Himanshu, but I'd also pose another question to you. Himanshu, but I'd also pose another question to you is, amid a series of discussions that will take place, there's another thing that is important, is the Kazan declaration, which is currently under negotiation. What do you think should be India's stand, and what can be expected out of this Kazan declaration, since there's also the energy policy that could be also discussed. So what do you think we can expect from this?
Kazan declaration, see, if you want it unanimous, there must be some points which are acceptable to Global South also and to all the members. Unless unanimous declaration cannot come out unless everyone agrees. And Bharat will not agree. India will not agree. Let me tell you right at the outset. India will not agree right now at this present juncture for a BRICS currency which could be yuan. No, India will not agree to that. What India will agree to is a financial arrangement on a bilateral or a bipolar manner. And that is, you can purchase petroleum from Russia, pay it in rubles, pay it in rupees, and ruble-rupee exchange can come up. Similar is the thing, that should be the way forward. And Putin himself says this. So what I expect there is, more than rushing off to a BRICS currency, there will be a consensus, and there will be in the declaration you will find that, countrywide trade in their own currencies would take place. And that will be the cementing, the first step to an alternative to fiat dollar. And that is what I'm looking at. There should be a consensus. See, already in BRICS, you are having two nations which are at war. One is Iran. Another one is Russia. And somewhere or other, the declaration on people suffering from terrorism. The country is suffering from terrorism. All types of terrorism. Eco-terrorism. Terrorism on ground. Western powers trying to manipulate people. So there might be some consensus on certain issues over there. But nothing more than that. I don't expect anything drastic to happen in this. And Putin has already given an indication about Kazan. He's very clearly said that. We are not looking at a BRICS currency. We are looking at the consensus to trade in the two countries' currency. And that will happen. And that is what I expect. Anything more than that will be a bonus. I don't expect anything more than that.
All right. Thank you so much, Himanshu Bhatt, Jyota Basu and Professor Madhav Nalapad for joining us on the telecast and sharing those insights. Let's in fact listen into some reactions that are coming in.
तो अभी यस तो ये विशेष मिलन है अब हमारे लिए भी तो एक बैनर बन गया वो फिर दिखाएंगे आपको और एक गीत भी गाएंगे ये जो स्वागतम गीत 2-4 लाइन गाएंगे और हम समझते हैं कि सबसे अच्छा तरीका मिलने का तो ये जो दृष्टि हम कहा जाते हैं आइज़ का मिलन और हमारा जो मुस्कुराता हुआ चेहरा वो सबसे अच्छा है मिलने के लिए और मैं अभी 2 दिन पहले भारत से आया हूँ और सीधा दिल्ली से यहाँ कजान आया हूँ तो विशेष इस मिलन के लिए हम बहुत खुश हैं कि मोदी जी अभी यहाँ रशिया
This mantra, Hare Krishna, it's Maha mantra. We are sung this mantra every week for Sunday in our town, and we very important for us this visit Premier Minister of India, Narendra Modi, in Kazan.
सर मेरा नाम शीतल है मैं हरियाणा से हूँ मेरे को बहुत प्राउड फील होगा कि आज शायद हम उनकी वजह से यहाँ पे हैं बिकॉज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन इंडिया एंड रशिया इज़ वेरी गुड उनके फ्रेंडशिप बॉन्ड की वजह से आज हम यहाँ खड़े हैं शायद बहुत कम लोगों को यहाँ पे आने का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है और जिनमें से हम हैं जो यहाँ खड़े हैं
हेलो My name is Shalini Goswami and I'm from Delhi.
Ma'am, what would be your message for Prime Minister Modi?
My message...
in front of you because he will be crossing in front of you and interacting with you.
It will be an honor to be able to talk to him. I'm so excited and I would like to meet him and I would like to shake his hand.
Hello. I am Ayushi Srivastav. I am from India, from New Delhi. And today I'm very excited to meet our PM. And yeah, the feeling is great. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, my name is Sadhna. I'm feeling so excited to see Prime Minister. Yeah, welcome to Kazan.
Hi, my name is Monisha. I'm from Bangalore. I'm really excited since this is a historic moment and we are going to be seeing the face of India coming in Kazan. So we are all really excited and waiting.
You are also the ambassador of the diaspora.
Yeah.
Because you guys are representing India over here.
Yes.
How does it feel? Because Prime Minister did talk about the diaspora.
It feels actually really great because this is an opportunity which we won't get a lot of times. This is like once in a moment opportunity. So we are really thankful and grateful right now. Yeah.
Hello sir.
कहाँ से हैं? क्या नाम है आपका?
My name is Nayan Khatri. I am from Nagpur, Maharashtra.
प्रधानमंत्री का स्वागत आप कैसे करने वाले हैं? क्योंकि कुछ घंटों में आने वाले हैं प्रधानमंत्री.
We are very excited to welcome our Prime Minister. We are a student from MBBS. We are doing MBBS from Kazan, Russia. 6-year course. और हम बहुत
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Kazan in Russia and he is set to participate in the 16th BRICS Summit that is going to take place in Kazan. So the main thing that is that all eyes are on the bilateral meetings that could take place, likely to take place between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And meanwhile, he'll be holding bilateral meetings, bilateral talks with other counterparts, and he's also set to address and interact with the Indian diaspora in Russia.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.